The night Emily left was cold, the kind of chill that sank into bones and whispered warnings. Her arms trembled as she held her baby close, pressing her lips to the infant's soft forehead. Little Lily whimpered softly, but Emily rocked her gently, shushing her in hushed tones. "I've got you, sweetheart," Emily whispered. "Mama won't let anyone hurt you. Not even him." The mansion behind her stood tall, glowing with lights, a reminder of everything she was leaving behind: wealth, comfort, and the man she had once believed she would spend forever with. Alexander King, the billionaire whose name commanded boardrooms and headlines alike, had also commanded her heart. But everything had shattered the moment she told him she was pregnant. She remembered his face so vividly: the tight jaw, the silence, the way he stared at her as if she had spoken a foreign language. She had begged him to say something, to reach for her hand, to show her that the love they shared wasn't just in her imagination. But he didn't. "Alex," she had whispered back then, voice cracking. "This is your child too. Don't you care?" His silence was her answer. That night, while he worked late, Emily packed what little she owned and walked away, her heart breaking with every step. A year passed, but the pain of that night never faded. Emily's world had shrunk to a tiny apartment with creaky floors and secondhand furniture. She worked double shifts at a diner, her hands raw from washing dishes, her body aching from endless hours, but every time she saw Lily's smile, it was worth it. "Look, Lily," Emily cooed one evening, showing her daughter a stuffed rabbit she'd bought from the thrift store. "Mama found you a new friend. Isn't he cute?" The baby gurgled and clapped her tiny hands, her laughter filling the dimly lit room with light. Emily's chest tightened, both from joy and guilt. She was doing her best, but she knew Lily deserved more. Still, not once did she reach out to Alexander. To her, he had made his choice. But Alexander hadn't moved on. To the world, he was still the same ruthless tycoon: sharp suits, endless meetings, a man untouched by sentiment. But behind closed doors, his nights were restless. He would sit in his study with a glass of scotch, staring at the spot on the couch where Emily used to curl up beside him, or at the photo of them he could never bring himself to throw away. He had never stopped thinking about her, or the baby. Every day, regret clawed at him. He had been silent that night not because he didn't care, but because he was terrified of being like his own father, who had abandoned his family without looking back. But in his hesitation, he had lost them both. Until one night, his phone rang. "Mr. King," a firm voice spoke on the line. "This is St. Mary's Hospital. You've been listed as the emergency contact for Emily Rose. We need you to come immediately. It's urgent, both for her and the child." The hospital smelled of antiseptic and despair. Alexander pushed through the emergency ward doors, his usually calm composure replaced by raw panic. His tie was loose, his breath uneven. He had faced boardroom wars, billion-dollar negotiations, and ruthless rivals without blinking, yet now, his hands shook uncontrollably. "Emily Rose," he rasped to the receptionist. "Where is she?" The nurse glanced up. "Are you family?" His chest constricted. The truth stuck in his throat. I could have been. "Yes," he forced out. I'm the father of her child." The nurse nodded briskly and pointed him down the hall. "Room 307. The doctor will brief you." Alexander nearly sprinted. His shoes echoed against the sterile tiles, each step heavier than the last. When he reached the room, his heart nearly stopped. Emily lay on the bed, pale and fragile, her chest rising shallowly with every breath. Machines beeped beside her. Her usually vibrant eyes were closed, dark lashes fanned against sickly skin. He had never seen her so breakable. And then, in the corner, he saw her. A tiny girl with golden curls and round cheeks sat in a nurse's arms, clutching a tattered stuffed rabbit. She looked up at him with wide, watery eyes, the same shade of gray as his own. Alexander froze. His throat tightened, and before he realized it, he was reaching out. The nurse, sensing something, gently transferred the baby into his arms. The moment Lily's small fingers curled around his thumb, Alexander felt his world shift. All the walls he'd built around himself crumbled. This was his daughter, his flesh, his blood. The child he had never dared to hold, now clinging to him as if she'd always known. His voice broke. "I've missed so much, Mr. King." The doctor entered quietly. Emily collapsed due to severe exhaustion and an untreated infection. She's stable now, but her body has been under enormous stress. What she needs is rest and support. He paused, eyeing the billionaire. She listed you as her emergency contact. Even after everything, Alexander's grip on Lily tightened. He turned to Emily's fragile figure. Even when she left me, she still trusted me. Hours later, Emily stirred. Her eyes fluttered open, adjusting to the harsh hospital lights. When her gaze landed on the man by her bed, her lips parted in shock. Alex, she whispered hoarsely. He was sitting in the chair, Lily sleeping soundly against his chest, his large hand carefully patting her tiny back. The sight was so surreal, Emily thought she must still be dreaming. You came, her voice cracked. Alexander leaned forward, his eyes glistening with unspoken guilt. Of course I came. You think I could stay away once I knew? Emily's throat tightened. She tried to sit up, but he gently placed a hand on her shoulder. Don't. You're too weak. I didn't want to bother you, she murmured, tears welling. You made it clear before, you didn't want this life. Didn't want her. His face contorted with pain. Emily, I was a coward. I was so afraid of becoming the man my father was, cold, absent, destructive, that I froze. I thought silence would protect you. Instead, it destroyed us. He swallowed hard, lowering his gaze to the child in his arms. But I swear to you, I've never stopped thinking about you. Or her. I can't lose you both again. Tears slid down Emily's cheeks. For a year, she had carried the weight alone, convinced he didn't care. And yet here he was, holding their daughter as if she were the most precious treasure on earth. Alex. Her voice was barely a whisper. I don't know if I can trust you again. He leaned closer, his forehead nearly touching hers, his voice trembling with sincerity. Then let me earn it. Let me prove it every day, in every way. I'll take care of you. Of Lily. I'll never walk away, Emily. I promise you, I'm here to stay. Emily looked at him for a long, silent moment, her heart warring with her mind. And then, as she watched Lily curl deeper into her father's chest, she let out a shaky breath. For the first time in a year, hope flickered in her heart. Maybe, just maybe, her little family could finally begin. Alexander's heart slammed against his chest. For a moment, he couldn't breathe. Emily. After all this time, the Scotch glass slipped from his hand and shattered on the floor. Without a second thought, Alexander grabbed his coat and ran out the door. For the first time in a year, he prayed.